me ask you something. Have you ever tried carrying a full cup of coffee to your car without spilling a drop? You walk slow, you focus hard, you hold your breath every time it sloshes near the rim. Now imagine that coffee's your paycheck, and the cup, that's your budget. Rent, gas, groceries, bills, it's all packed in, right to the tippy top. You're being careful, you're trying to do everything right, and then life throws something at you. A surprise car repair, a higher than usual utility bill, an extra shift gets cut. And just like that, it spills. You're not being irresponsible. You're trying to carry more than that cup can realistically hold. And no one gave you a lid. That's what it feels like to live on minimum wage. There's no margin, no backup plan, no room for breathing, no matter how frugal you are. And while everyone else is sipping their lattes with sleeves and safety lids, you're out here just trying not to spill. And somehow, they still ask why you don't have savings. It's not that you're bad with money, it's that there's not enough money to begin with. Minimum wage isn't designed to build wealth. It's barely designed to keep you afloat. That's why it's called minimum wage. In fact, in 2023, a report from MIT's Living Wage Calculator shows that the average livable wage for a single adult in New York is $21.46 an hour. Minimum wage, $15.50. That's a $6 an hour gap every hour, every day, every week. Hello, my friend. In case you're new here, my name is Sarah, and I'm the owner of FrozenPennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the international best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal, link below. So when you're sitting there staring at your bank account, wondering how the heck rent, groceries, and gas just ate your entire paycheck, you are not crazy. That's math. That's brutal. And honestly, no budget can fix what income can't cover. But a budget can help you feel a little less out of control. It can give your money a job, even if it's just a tiny one. It's not about saving thousands or cutting lattes. It's about giving you a say in where your paycheck goes instead of watching it vanish. So let's walk through it together. Let's take a real life income like $15.50 an hour for 40 hours a week. That's about $2,200 a month after taxes, give or take. And then we'll break it down the way most people actually live. No fluff, no impossible advice, just a simple plan to help you stop robbing Peter to pay Paul and actually see where your money is going. Because once you know where it's going, you can finally start telling it what to do. Now, I did some research on rent because I was curious what rent prices were in my state. I looked around and decided to explore online in Rome, New York. It's in the central part of the state, and I always thought as a little girl that having a city named Rome in New York was super cool. Now, apartments range from $834 and up for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath. That's reasonable. So because we're frugal, we went with the nicest, cheapest one. And with a 2-bedroom, we might even be able to find a roommate. For those of you who are scoffing because there's no way you could find an apartment for that, you do have the option to pick a cheaper city and move. Now, it's not an easy choice, and there are always obstacles to overcome, but it is still a choice. Now, I want to say that again because I think it's important. You could pack up all of your belongings into your car and move to a lower cost area. It might be hard and it might be uncomfortable, but if you can't afford the area that you're in, there is that option. Now, we're also assuming that you have no debt, no credit card, no medical or student loan debts. If you do have debt, that will have to be worked into the equation somehow. Before we get into groceries or gas, let's look at what's actually already spoken for. Rent? $834. That's nearly 40% of your income gone. A car payment? $159. That's a cheap car. Car insurance? $75. Gas just to get to work and back? About $130. We're already over $1,100 and we haven't even kept the lights on yet. Add in electric and heat, about $200. Cell phone, $50. The internet is about another $100 or so. Groceries? Toiletries, cleaning stuff, food, let's just lump all that together and say $200. And now we're sitting at around $1,900 out of that $2,200 a month. That means you've got maybe $300 left over in a good month. But that's assuming nothing breaks, nothing goes wrong, and no one gets sick. That's assuming your car doesn't need new brakes or your electric bill doesn't spike in February, and we know in upstate New York, your electric bill is going to spike in February. That's assuming you don't have student loans or medical bills. That's assuming you don't say yes to takeout just once when you're too exhausted to cook. And that's the trap. So here's what a lot of people don't understand. Even if you're earning $15.50 an hour, you're usually too high in income to qualify for things like SNAP or Medicaid in New York. You're stuck in this cruel middle ground. You make too much money to get help, but not enough to feel secure. That means even though you're struggling, rent, groceries, bills, it still disqualifies you from basic assistance. So don't lose hope, though. There are some programs that still might help you, like emergency heating assistance, we call it HEAP, crisis grants, or community-based nonprofits. It's not fair, it's not okay, but knowing where the gaps are can be the first step in advocating for help and for yourself. So what do you do with the $300 that's left? Well, it depends. Some months, that money might go to a haircut, a birthday gift, or fixing something you've been ignoring. Other months, it's gone before you even get it because something unexpected hits again. But here's where it gets really hard. You still don't have health insurance. And listen, I get it. You're not ignoring it. You're not trying to be reckless. You're terrified of what could happen. And you know you're one accident or infection away from financial disaster. But here's the thing. Most women in this exact position fall into what's called the coverage gap. You make too much for Medicaid, but not enough to afford a $500 monthly premium with a $7,000 deductible. And honestly, that's just cruel. So what do? Well, first I want you to check New York's Essential Plan if you live in New York. It's a special option that most people don't know exists. If you make under $30,000 a year, which you do at $5.50 an hour, you might qualify for health insurance that's just $20 a month. Sometimes it's even free. Go to newyorkstateofhealth.newyork.gov and plug in your numbers. It takes like 10 minutes and could be the thing that finally lets you sleep at night. And if you don't live in New York, check your state's marketplace through healthcare.gov. Many states have their own income-based programs that aren't as well known. In some places, you might qualify for premiums of $0 or very low-cost coverage, depending on your income and zip code, even without Medicaid. Now, it's worth looking into. I know the websites can be overwhelming and time-consuming, but 1 hour of frustration now could save you thousands later. If you've already tried and been denied or priced out, try again. Policies shifts, income brackets change. Sometimes even listing your rent or utilities can lower your expected costs. You might also want to consider checking into an insurance broker. This is a free service for you. You do not have to pay that, and they have the inside scoop on what insurance policies might work best for you at the best cost. And all of this still doesn't work, then we build your budget with that risk in mind. We set aside $20, $40, maybe $60 a month as a health buffer fund. So you're not completely exposed if something does happen. You do everything right. You stick to the list. You try to cook. You cancel the subscriptions. But there's no room for life. No room for error. No room for rest. And then you get shamed for not having a savings account. You get told to stop buying coffee, as if that's the problem. You get turned away from assistance because your income is just a hair too high, but still not enough to feel safe. So let's talk about what is possible. Let's look at what you can control, what you can finally stop feeling like you're drowning in a system that wasn't designed for you in the first place. Because no, we can't fix housing costs or wage laws in this video, but we can fix the way that you approach your money with clarity, confidence, and a plan that doesn't make you feel like a failure every month. Okay, so what can you do when there's only $300 left and it needs to cover everything from birthdays to Band-Aids? Here are 10 smart, sometimes unconventional ways to stretch that money without losing your mind or your dignity. Number 1, build a crisis envelope, even if it's only $10 a month. Let's be real, most months saving feels just about impossible. But you don't need $1,000 to start feeling a little safer. You just need a plan. Grab an envelope or a jar, label it crisis, and commit to tossing in whatever you can whenever you can. $5 here, 10 there, a handful of change here. This isn't a savings account, it's your life happens buffer. The money you reach for when your tire blows or you get a cavity. It's not about how much is in there, it's about knowing you're not completely exposed when the unexpected hits. Even a small stash builds real peace of mind. Number 2, unplug to lower your power bill. Electric bills are sneaky. You think you're doing everything right, turning off lights, bundling up in winter, and still the bill creeps higher. One fix: unplug appliances when you're not using them. Seriously, that microwave clock, your phone charger, your TV, they all draw electricity even when they're off. Plug them into a power strip and flip it off when you leave the room, or just unplug the whole thing. It sounds small, but over time it adds up. $10 here and $20 there really makes a difference. And when your budget is already stretched thin, any win that doesn't take effort is a win worth celebrating, especially one that lowers your stress. Number 3, use library perks most people don't know about. Your local library is one of the most underused money-saving tools out there. It's not just about books anymore. Libraries offer free streaming services, downloadable audiobooks, magazines, and even movies. Some even loan out museum passes, tools, craft kits, and hotspots for Wi-Fi. Many host free classes, job fairs, or even events for adults and kids, and it's all free. No guilt, no subscription required. If you're paying for entertainment or learning tools right now, there's a good chance the library has something just as good, or maybe better. It's worth taking a tour. You might be shocked at what you find. Number 4, delay spending with a wish list rule. We've all done it, bought something on impulse and regretted it later. That's where the wish list rule comes in. Anytime you want something that's not essential, pause, write it down, wait for a while, 72 hours, 48 hours, just give it time. More often than not, the urge passes and you forget about it entirely. And if you don't, well, that's okay. At least now you can think about how it fits in your budget. This tiny habit stops emotional spending in its tracks, especially when you're feeling tired or triggered. It helps you save without feeling restricted, and lets you prioritize what really matters. Number 5, share subscriptions with a trusted friend. You don't have to totally give up your Netflix nights or your audiobook habit to save money. You just have to get strategic. Most streaming platforms, music apps, and even delivery services offer family or group plans. So why not split the cost with a friend you trust? Sharing access means you each pay less and you still get the value. Just be smart, set ground rules if needed, and don't share passwords with people you barely know. But when done right, this one shift can cut your subscription costs in half without taking away your little moments of joy and downtime. Number 6, shop secondhand the preloaded way. Thrifting can save a ton of money, but it can also make you spend more than you planned if you walk in without a list. So flip the script. Before you shop, write down exactly what you need. Black boots, size 8, under $20. Go in with a mission. No browsing, no, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Just hunt for what's on your list. This keeps your spending focused and purposeful. It also helps you avoid falling into the trap of buying good deals that don't really serve you. Thrifting works best when it's intentional, not when it becomes another temptation or a pastime. Number 7, keep a running pantry list on the fridge. Do you know what eats up a grocery budget fast? Forgetting what you already have and buying doubles. Or making last-minute trips because you didn't realize you were out of something basic. That's where a running pantry list saves the day. Keep a dry erase board or sticky note on the fridge. When you use the last of something, write it down. That way, when it's time to shop, you've already got your list started. It helps you plan meals based on what you actually need, avoids food waste, and stop those just one thing grocery runs that turn into $40 splurges. Number 8, learn the art of low spend weeks. You don't have to go full no spend to make progress. Just choose 1 week a month to go into low spend mode. That means no extras, no takeouts, no Amazon movie rentals, no unplanned stops. You eat from your pantry and freezer, use what you already have, and get a little creative. It's not punishment, it's a reset, a reminder that you have options. And honestly, it adds up fast. One low spend week can save you $50 to $100 without even feeling like a sacrifice. Plus, it makes you more mindful. The rest of the month, think of it as a financial detox. Number 9, freeze the leftovers you usually toss. That half a chicken breast, the single scoop of rice, the 2 spoonfuls of chili, most people toss them thinking it's not enough for a full meal, but here's the trick. Freeze them in single-serve containers. Over time, those random leftovers become emergency meals. Perfect for nights you're too exhausted or broke. No cooking, no spending, no stress. It's like having your own personal broke girl freezer stash. You'd be shocked at how much money this saves, especially when it keeps you from hitting the drive-thru or wasted perfectly good food. Tiny bits add up. Don't toss them. Bank them for later. Number 10, make your budget visual, not just digital. Budgeting apps are great, but sometimes they're too easy to ignore. Try writing your budget out by hand and putting it where you can see it. On the fridge, on your bathroom mirror, taped to your laptop. Just seeing $300 left for the month in your own handwriting hits differently. It keeps you aware, grounded, and less likely to spend impulsively. You can use a highlighter to track what's gone and what's left. It sounds simple, but it turns your money into something you can feel and see, not just numbers in an app. Out of sight really does mean out of mind. Want a simple way to get started? I've got a free budget planner you can download. Just check the link in the description below. And just to let you know, you're not failing at budgeting here. You're surviving an economy that was never built for you. But you're still here, still trying, still showing up with your head high and your heart hopeful. Still looking for ways to increase your income. So today we stop blaming ourselves for what we were never supposed to carry alone. We get smart, we get honest, and we get fierce about making the most of what we do have. Because this isn't just about money, it's about reclaiming your dignity, your peace, and your power. And whether you've got $3 or $300 left after bills, if you can find one way to stretch it, one way to soften your life, and one way to feel just a little bit more in control, you're already winning. And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.